Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hey, Colleen. Can you see me and hear me fine? Can you see and hear me fine, Colleen? Okay, thank you. How are you doing? Before folks come on and jump on in. I need to get a tape. I should have brought a table right here so I wanted to look so far. Cool. Hi, Leah. Happy Friday. Hey, Melissa girl. How you doing? Good, good. I'm glad because I had to switch locations a little bit. Hey, Sean. Guys, today we're going to jump on in because I do not want to keep you guys. Hey, Tasha girl. I know I'm doing this just for you. Okay, honey, it could be my Wi-Fi. Ain't no telling, okay? So today we are going to talk about long arms because I do know that there are several people out here who wants to buy a long arm, and I want to give you my opinion. Just my 3 cents, okay? I have my list here that I will be going down, referring to, but what I want to start off with is which long arm do I have? Guys, come on in. Hey, Tracy. I have an Innova Classic, and it's a 22-inch on a 12-foot frame. He is outfitted with the Navigator, the tablet that you see there, and a stitch regulator right there, which is called lightning stitch. And next month, his hydraulic unit will be put on so I can raise the table up, especially when I'm doing custom or ruler work. How have I been long arming? Guys, I'm gonna tell you, I've had a long arm since 2013. Between 2013 and 2015, though I had one, I was terrified kind of it because one, the machines cost a lot of money, and two, I didn't want to break it. I just felt like I was going to break that machine. So I decided to go ahead and, be delicate with it until about 2015. 2015 through 2017, I stepped away from quilting. We had just lost our daughter, and I just had no interest in doing it. I may have done a couple of quilts, if any. And then in 2018, I went to go visit a friend over in Washington State. Her name is Teresa. We're sisters. She had an Innova. When I saw her long arm, I was like, that is so man looking to me. It's so industrial looking. I just couldn't get past it. Now, at that moment, I had the Handy Quilter Avante, which was an 18-inch throat space. Hunty, and that was girly. I bought it because it was girly looking, okay? Don't ever buy a long arm because of how it looks, okay? So yeah, I did that, and she was like, no, you just got to get on it. Just get on it. And when I did, I fell in love with it. The biggest mistake I could have made was got on her machine, because that was in February. When I got home, I knew I had to sell my machine. And that was in 2018. No. That was That was in 2015. I went to visit her. I knew I wanted the machine, but I was going to wait until we moved. And we moved in 2017. I had already sold my Avante, and I decided to get Tafari. Now let's see who's all coming in. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Darlene. We're just talking long arms. You can't stop you. Yes. Hi, Shirley. Just want to make sure I have everybody. So yeah, so after that, that was what inspired me to change from a handy quilter to an Innova. Now let me tell you, it was a big difference. I'm not going to tell you to do is not buy a handy quilter. I'm not, you will never hear me say that, because that was my first love, okay? It didn't work for me because how I had to angle my body to look at the needle. That was the main reason I decided to change. With the Innova, I had more flexibility and I didn't have to strain my neck and back in order to quilt. Now, there are hundreds of people with an Avante and they love it. That's them. Right now, we're just talking about my personal opinions, but I'm not here to bash anyone or anyone's machine. I'm telling you my personal experience with handy quilter. The next question was, do I have zippered leaders? Yes, I do. I played around with loading several different times. I have a thing called red snappers. Did not like them. Now, there are a whole bunch of people who love them. I don't. I'm not a fan. I had, what else did I do? Pins. Pins, I don't know who created pins the way that they created them, but every time I use a pin, I was getting poked. I was drawing blood. I got tired of doing that. I use magnets, the So Tight magnets. I like those. Those were pretty okay, but I had metal bars. So every often, it will remove itself from the quilt and attach to my bar. I didn't like that. So now I purchased a leader ender so I can actually sew my backing onto the leaders. I love that. That's the method that I prefer. And it's still on zippered leaders, because if I need to stop working on a quilt, I will stop working on a quilt. I can unzip it, put on a new quilt, start quilting it or finishing it or whatever. And then I can put this one back on and it will be in the exact same spot it was in before I took it off the frame. So zipper leaders, I love. Let's see. See, Leah she bought her APQS Liberty 10 years ago, and I bet you she will tell you she loves her machine. Everybody is going to tell you that they love their machine, and that's what we're supposed to do. You paid all this money, you better love that machine, okay? What's the difference between computerized and hand guided? Computerized is like I'm working on right now. Computerized is nothing but a digital pantograph that the computer, you program it into the computer and it's going to quilt back and forth for you. Hand guided is that you're going to be standing there. If I had a pantograph, it'll be a roll of paper. I'm just going to say for instance, this was my frame right here. You're going to stand back there, and if you have to make a circle, you're going to draw that circle and pray that you stay somewhat on that line, okay? My pantographing was horrible. I did not like it, but I know people who can get on a pantograph and kill it, okay? So it wasn't just my thing. I'm like, Lord, I can't stand there and do this pantograph. As soon as you go, you had to have swinging your hips and swinging your arms in order to do that. Now I can dance, I used to, but when my back got messed up, these hips ain't swinging like they need to get around them curves and all that kind of stuff, okay? So yeah, so if you can get a computerized system, it'll save yourself time, and it will also save yourself, especially if you're doing it for profit, okay? I would suggest a computerized machine, or if you have injuries or anything like that, I would suggest a computerized machine, my opinion. I did have another question of what version of P2 I had. I believe I have the latest version of it. And in the last video, you saw me use water bottles. The water bottles is to help with tension. No, I'm sorry, not tension. It is to give tension to the quilt if the quilt has a lot of fullness in it. I use the water bottles, and I try to use the water bottles first. If I can move that, let the machine move the fullness around naturally for me, I will go that route. If I cannot get that fullness contained, I would use starch and water. Let's see if there's anyone else talking to me. Hello, everybody coming in. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Another, Leah says, yuck on pantographs. I do freehand ruler work. Wish I had a computer. See, and that's what pantographs, yeah, you want a computer. But freehand, that is where I'm going. That's my passion. I would love to learn how to freehand and do a lot of ruler work. So I'll be taking you guys on that journey with me as I'm learning how to do those things. So you won't feel all by yourself learning, okay? I'm gonna throw my own self under the bus. Okay, I answered how do I load my quilt tops and backing. I do load them by sewing them on my leaders. And another question is, what's the difference between a sit down, which is a mid arm, versus a long arm? The sit down version is just like just call it an upgrade to your domestic. You are moving the quilts. You're moving the quilts around like this, like this. On a long arm, you moving the machine on the quilt. So you're, using the machine instead of your hands. Also, you're standing versus sitting, okay? Now, when I get my hydraulics, if I need to, I can lower my table down further and I still can sit down, but the difference is that how you're moving that quilt versus you moving the sew head. Okay, and another question was what were steps I did to purchase my machine? Because now, first of all, long arms come in different types. They do different things. And you have to know what you want, of course, when you purchase it. When I went to my dealer, I already knew that I wanted an Innova. I knew that I wanted to play on it some more. Now, I live in North Carolina and I had to drive like 3 hours away to Virginia to test it. And I did that several times to make sure that I really did like my machine. And I just, when I finished that third visit, I was like, I'm getting this machine. Let me stop playing. So I did have a deposit because, like I said, because I sold my Avante, and I was able to put that down payment on, and they did allow me, to break my payments up, not like over a year or anything like that. After I put the deposit down, I put another, at one of the lessons, I put another chunk down, and then I paid the rest of it when I got scheduled it for delivery. And so that's how it went. Now, of course, they have financing kind of stuff that's available. Let's see. Hey, Courtney. Yes, I got your. Okay. Thank you, Colleen. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, please post those links for me. Okay, now I want to just quickly talk about purchasing a long arm, or, you know, why buy a long arm, and some of the things I had to learn along the way. The things that I just answered were all questions that I received from that video. And I'm gonna tell you, if you are not a person of faith, this will not apply to you. But honey, I prayed. I prayed because, again, this is my second machine, and I did not want to get this machine and hate it and have to buy another one. That's not what I wanted to do. So that was my number one thing. I prayed to make sure that this purchase was not going to be on impulse. Like I already said, I bought my Avante because of how it looked. It was cute, it was girly, and it was not computerized. However, I wanted to, you know, that's all I wanted at that time. So I made sure I prayed on this one. The first thing you should always consider before buying a long arm is your budget. If you're only wanting to pay $10,000 for a long arm, stick to that budget and all the things that you can get for that price. Like a used car or a car salesman, of course, they're going to try to talk you up above that. They're coming out with a lot of machines that fit that budget, well under 10,000. So you might have to shop around for it, but do not go over your budget if you cannot afford it, because you will hate yourself and you will hate your machine. The next thing you have to think about is space. Do you have the space for a long arm? Because this might be a 12-foot frame right here. However, I have things that stick out on the side. When I do my tour down here, I will show you, it sticks out on the side. You have to account for, that sizing. And if you're going to do pantographs, you're going to have at least, I think, 3 to 5 feet behind your machine to walk. And then, of course, the space in the front. So you have to make sure that you have space for it. Again, in the size of frame that you want. If you're trying to quilt king size quilts, you cannot do that on a 10-foot frame. You have to have at least a 12-foot frame or 14 to be ideal for a king size quilt. Let's see, number 3, customer service. I'm gonna tell you, customer service is very important. When I say very important, I mean very, very important. There are a lot of machines out here that have gone out of business, or now everything is blame it on, you know what, the 5-letter word with the 19 at the end, okay? They blame everything on that now. So if you have poor customer service, oh, we're short-staffed, oh, we're this, or we're that, and it'll take weeks to get an answer. I can personally tell you, I have not had that experience with my Innova. We have a 24/7 hotline for customer service. One night, I promise you, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was down here sewing and something went wrong with my machine. I was like, it's giving me an error. I don't know what that mess is about. I called. You know, they were there and they walked me through how to fix it. Call anytime. That meant a lot to me because I thought that was just, you know, a line that they put on you know, advertised 24/7, but they literally do mean 24/7. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a weekend holiday, you know, a holiday weekend kind of thing. In fact, it was a 4th of July weekend. So yeah, Customer service is important. That also includes having a dealer, getting to know that dealer prior to purchase. Okay, prior to purchase, get to know that dealer. When you have problems, see how they respond to your questions. If they make you feel like you're an idiot, I advise you, even if that means you have to go somewhere else and it might be further out, go to someone who's going to talk to you like you have some kind of respect. You know, like you, dang it, like you Queen of Sheba, you know, somebody like that, okay? Because there's a lot of money to invest in a machine to have someone talk at you like you're crazy. Don't do it. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Vivian. So, yeah, so you make sure that customer service is key. And not only when you're, you know, in the purchasing process of it, I can tell you right now, I call my dealer maybe twice a month, just because I have a question about, you know what, it'd be nice if this machine can do this. Does this machine do that? And they treat me just like they treated me from day one. Awesome. Love the customer service. Go to shows. When they have the quilting shows, expos, sewing expos and stuff like that, go to those shows. Go and test and play on every single machine that you can. Don't talk to nobody, because they're going to want to sell you that machine. Don't talk to them. Get on that machine and play with that machine and see how it moves, how it feels in your hand. If you're feeling any vibration, that was another thing I did have. I had to say it, but I did have a lot of vibration with my handy quilter. And I think that was because of the rail system that they use. I don't have it with this one because it's all one straight piece. So I didn't have all that vibrating. And also you have to make sure you're on a level floor. You know, a lot older homes, the floors are not level. So you have to make sure that, you know, that machine works for you. So go to those shows, play on every machine that you can. And if you can have the opportunity to go back to that show again the next day, go back. As long as that show is there, go back and play on those machines. I cannot stress that to you enough. I was in Washington State playing on my friend, my sister machine, like for 3 days. And when I tell you, by the time I left there, I knew I was getting an Innova when I came back home. Lighting. If you have the capability of putting better lighting in, LED lighting above your machine. Now I am gonna install another bar because, honey, my eyes are getting old. So I want another set of bar lights that come down a little bit closer. I do have an LED light that's already on it, and it is pretty bright, but I like to see, honey, because I'm in my 2-car garage space. Now, though we spray for insects and stuff like that, because let me see a bug come up out of here crawling somewhere. Girl, you talking about somebody hiding and running? I'm gonna hide and run, okay? I'm like, husband, you need to come and get this bug up out of here. Hey, Shady Susan. She said, I don't have the vibration on my Moxie handy quilter. Now, I'm gonna tell you, that's a good comment, Susan, because I had mine, babe, I'm okay. My dog just was alerting me that my heart rate was going up. My machine, I had my machine back in 2013. Now, could they have done updates to better their frames and stuff like that? In fact, I do know that they did do a new frame. So my frame had a lot of vibration in it. And I even brought the dealer to my house and she couldn't fix it. So that was on mine. I'm sorry, you guys see me moving up. It's because my phone is way over here. Yes, my honey, my eyes is real bad. Oh, finally caught alive. Oh, yay. Aaron's taken care of. Hi, Kim. I'm hoping I get everybody. Teresa, hey girl, if I didn't say hey to you already. Let's see what's next. 4, go to shows. 5, the lighting, we already talked about. 6, extras. Just like every machine you get, there are some extras that you can purchase. Purchase all the bells and whistles you want, because guess what? It's your machine. Now, I did get the lightning switch. I did get the Navigator. I did get the LED light. Like I said before, I'm getting a hydraulic unit on there. And I believe I'm getting wheels put on it as well. There are so many rulers out there for long arming. Make sure you get the ones that are specified for long arm quilting, because I'm gonna tell you, if you throw your timing off on that machine, you better hope. Now see, I'm not the girl that will sit here and put their timing back right. I want my dealer to come out here and do that. But they do have videos. Oh, Stephanie, that's easy. You can do it yourself. No, I don't want to do it myself. I'm too scared to do it myself. But he has walked me through many things where I had to literally take my back off of it just because a wire had jimmied or loose and all that kind of stuff. I was pure TD1 terrified. Do you hear me? So I'm not the mechanical type. I don't want to do that. I want them to come out here and do it because I want it done right. But yeah, you can throw your timing off of that on your machine and you're gonna cry for real. Any kind of maintenance repair like that, it's not cheap. The only thing cheap are your little screws and stuff like that. That's $2 and $3. You see this little green knob, this little white knob right here, and I have a green one on the other side. The white is to stop it and the green is to make it go. Hunty, them little knobs by themselves, I think they're like $30. Yeah, people, I mean, the bobbin case is like $79, but they do sell, like, well, I know for my machine, they do have like emergency kits. So they do have that for you. You know, they do sell things like that to help you get by just in case of an emergency. But I'm telling you, you're gonna want the rulers. You're gonna want, like I have a toggle table. I made this myself. You want your magnets if you're floating. Oh, and that's another thing, the difference between floating and loading, a complete load. A complete load is, I would load this top onto a leader as well. I don't do that. Many people want all 3 of theirs loaded. I'm a floater. Yeah, so get all the bells and whistles you want to get and enjoy your machine. Upgrades. This machine right here, the computer, I'm talking about the computer. Some people buy their machine, they don't have computerized system, and then they want to get the computerized system. That's considered an upgrade. You're not going to get a new head unless you want one, but you want to upgrade your machine. I have there is a Pantovision, a digital Pantovision, meaning you're going to, instead of doing the papers on the back, you're doing it on the front on the computer. Is similar to what we have now. I have now, but I have a Navigator P2. So that means I'm right in the middle of all what they offer on the computers. And then above me is an autopilot, which is the cream of the crop. It has all these bells and whistles. That is generally for people who want to long arm for business. I never had the inkling to want to long arm for business, not until these last couple of years. I started taking in some client quilts. But yeah, but I feel like I'm really good with where I am. I don't need to go to the next package, even though they keep telling me, oh, you will love it. I'm like, I bet I will. Don't let them talk you into it if you're not ready. Don't let them talk you into it, okay? Okay, the next thing I wanted to tell you about is, oh, and before you go to purchase a long arm, find a place that sells your long arm, if it's close by, to rent your long arm. Play with it. Get all, a lot of your kinks out of it. Get your body used to using it to make sure. That's another way of making sure that you can, this machine is for you. Go rent a machine too. Now that some places charge a couple hundred, it's like $125 just to learn how to use it. And then it's like something by the hour. You want to go and, do a quilt or throw size quilt for a couple of hours on the machine. It's going to be on zipper leader. So you can take it off just in case you didn't finish it. Or, someone else has a machine after you, that you just unzip your project and let them go on, and you come back, zip yours back on, and you're good to go. So I would suggest renting the machine. The next one is two more. That's all I got for you guys. Training. Go to your training. I would advise not to do your training until 3 months after you purchase. Now, you do your basic training, like this, how to thread your machine and all that kind of good stuff. You get that basic training, of course. But when you want to do the sit down training, when you want to know what every feature is about, do that 3 months after, because I'm telling you, you will forget. And you're like, dang, I forgot what's happening. Because when I first got my Avante, I'm telling you, I did not touch that machine for 3 months. I was terrified of it. Every time I walk past the room, I start breaking out in hives because I was afraid to break it. And one day I just got my butt up and said, we're going to break this machine. I don't care how much it's going to cost to fix it. I went in there and I did it. But it took me some time. But no, so you can grasp a hold of it, study your manual and all that kind of stuff. So when they say, do you have any questions? You have all your mess highlighted. And so, yeah, let's run down this list right quick. Okay. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is know that I already talked about the importance of a dealer. Know that with any machine that you get, you're going to have to do some kind of maintenance. Now, we know that there are people who have their sewing machines and they have like gunk from 2 years ago still up floating up in their machine. You cannot do that to a long arm, baby. You don't want to do that to a long arm because this is a true investment. You have to, I have to machine with every bobbin change. Now they say you can go 2 or 3 bobbins without changing. No, I want to do my every oil change because I'm listening to what my machine is telling me. If it needs to be oiled, or I have a thread lint ball up in there, I'm listening to it at all times. So it's easier for me to, when I'm cleaning, when I break thread or when I run out of bobbin, I will go ahead, not when I break thread, when I run out of bobbin, go in there, use my little duster, my brush, clean it out, make sure there's nothing on there. I do that at every bobbin change. Now, when I take this quilt off this frame, I'm going to do a deep cleaning on her. I'm going to make sure I clean off my table in the back. I'm going to make sure I'm cleaning off my rails, all the wheels, and making sure there's no lint in there. Under the needle plate, I'm taking all that off, cleaning down in there, giving my machine a good oiling. And she'll be ready. He will be ready for the next quilt. I keep calling him a she, and I know he's gonna take offense to that and probably start messing up the stitches now. Okay, no, his name is Tafari. I gave him a Cameroonian name because it's my ancestry, and it means he who inspires awe. That's what quilting is all about, guys. That's what it's all about. So let's see. That was all that I had for you guys. Let me see what's out here. Okay, Susan says she is also on the carpet. That is good because here I'm on concrete, and back home, Lord, back when I had the other one, I was on a hardwood floor. So that does make all the difference. Colleen, tell your hubby, not just yet. Okay. Teresa said that she is a floater. I mean, you bring my phone over here now. Yes, thank you, Leah. In order to do ruler work, you will need a ruler base. Usually they come with them, but if you want a bigger size ruler base, you need a nice size ruler base to do a lot of ruler work. She loved her power advanced motor and her tracking light above her machine. And when I upgrade, I want a 12 or 14 foot table. Yes. We got to talk about that tracking light above your machine. I wonder if it's like in the inside. Leah floats too. Yes, floaters in the house. That's a good one, Leah. She said she took some classes at a quilt show. Yes, take those classes because, well, you know what? A lot of those times they got those machines sitting right there. And you can play on it until your heart is content, okay? When you in that class, they're gonna have you free motion quilting and all that kind of good stuff. I'm telling you, take advantage of that time. Yes, okay. Does a long arm bobbin hold way more than a regular machine? Yes. A regular machine has, I believe it's a L bobbin, except the Bernina. My Bernina has a jumbo bobbin, so that bobbin is about like that. Let's see. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to turn my back to you guys. This is, and it's just about out of thread too. This is the bobbin size for my long arm, and it holds about that much thread. And it'll be, of course, the thread will fill all the way out. I'm glad that I took that out of there because it was about to run out of thread, so I need to wind another bobbin. Yes, any more questions? Any more questions? I hope I answered a lot of your questions about when you want to purchase a long arm, the things that you have to do. Do not go house poor trying to get a long arm. Know that if you're getting one, are you going to do it for yourself? If you're doing it for a business, have that settled in your mind. Because I just knew for a fact I was not going to want to do business, but now I'm like, I can do a little, a couple of quilts depending on my health. And last thing, do not get a long arm and comparing it to other people's. You will not be happy. You will not be happy. Do what you can do at the moment you want to do it, and then go from there. Don't compare what my machine can do to what, for instance, Courtney's can do, Leah's can do, Teresa's can do, because you drive yourself batty. Learn your machine. I'm still finding features on my machine, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I can do that. And there are times I'm like, dang, I wish I could do that. But it is what it is. I'm happy with what I have, and I want you guys to be happy with what you choose. If it's sit down, you do it, because you can still do rulers on sit down. And they have come out with things with stitch regulation for sit down. And if that's your thing, go for it. Go for it. One down. Yes. So I just wanted to come out and share all this with you guys. I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. I do plan on, this one will be finished today as soon as this live is over. I am so excited. I'm gonna tell you, as a long armor, they say quilt as any way you want to, it doesn't matter, choose a thread or whatever. When you choose that, that pattern. And when you choose the right thread, I mean, your heart will sing, okay? You'll be like, yes. That's how I felt on this quilt. I'm not gonna say I felt like that on all of my quilts, but this one, I think this one was just so, so pretty. And it's a donation quilt. I'm gonna be so sad to get this one back to them next week. Yes, and Kim says she want a long arm, but have no place to put one right now. Yeah, we had to, when I got ours, I always had a 12-foot frame. Oh, and when I was talking about the space, having the space around, now I was much bigger in body size then, and to have to squeeze behind that machine every day and tuck it in, it was, I'm telling you, that space back there matters. It matters. Yes, Teresa, practice, practice, practice. I hated when they told me that in the beginning. I hated it. I'm like, I want to learn how to do it right now, because that's all you were seeing were people who already knew how to do it, who already mastered it. I was tired of that. And then it made me not want to do it. And I started relying more on the computer than learning how to actually get my butt down and free motion quilt. So I'm not there yet with free motion quilting. I got a couple of patterns I think I'm doing good with, but I'm gonna bring you guys with me on this journey. We will be free motion quilting by the end of next year. Bam, okay? Hey, Lori. Oh, Lori, you coming in? When are we coming out? So yes, that was it. I think I have everybody. A lot of links have been posted. Thank you so much, Colleen. I do appreciate it. Let's see, let's not talk about, yes, I got that comment. I'm just going back through the comments and making sure that I haven't missed anybody or any questions, I should say. Well, since I don't see, okay, since I do not see any other questions. Okay, she was talking to Melissa. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Yep, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today, guys. So what you gonna see, I think I kind of like this time. You guys like this time? I think I like this time. So what I'm gonna do is be prepared to do some free motion quilting for you guys, and hopefully the next live or put a video of me doing a small pillow free motion quilting on. I'm gonna do some ruler work on it. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm trying to get used to this time. I think I like it. I hope you guys like it too. I will try to play with times and, get things ready. But yeah. From a setup from my frame and machine. Yes, great learning video. Thanks, Stephanie. You guys are welcome. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming out here and sharing your afternoon with me. Please leave a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Yeah, we're gonna do it over here, okay, guys? With this long arm, we all gonna get to know Mr. Tafari, okay? I'm gonna take you along on that journey. So yeah, until the next video, guys. Be blessed and have an amazing weekend. Bye. Let's see.